I'm on my own, broken and alone. I feel the rain crashing down all around this empty town. I'm searching for the lost and found, but you don't care, you're unaware. Keep moving like the scars aren't even there. It's in the air like a blazing flare. Don't stare 'cause the flames will burn us. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. I used to kiss your head when you cried for me. Hold your hand while the pain was over. Keep you warm by the roaring sea. You meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. My darling dear, you're never here. When I'm in pain, you hide and disappear. Like shadows in the atmosphere, charting the stratosphere. Yeah. I prayed for you and kept you near, in hopes you'd chase away my fears. I'm on my own, you made it so, and now I'm chasing nightmares through. I used to run with you through the great big leaves, laugh at you when you laugh at me. Hope for us because I believe the home was just you and me. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, I'm gonna do this on my own. No point in blaming you, you did not know. Oh, I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, I'm gonna do this on my own. No point in blaming you, you did not know. Oh, I'm gonna do this on my own. No point in blaming you, you did not know. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. I'm on my own, broken and alone. I feel the rain crashing down all around this empty town. I'm searching for the lost and found, but you don't care, you're unaware. Keep moving like the scars aren't even there. It's in the air like a blazing flare. Don't stare 'cause the flames will burn us. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, I'm gonna do this on my own. No point in blaming you, you did not know. Oh, I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, I'm gonna do this on my own. No point in blaming you, you did not know. Oh, I'm gonna do this on my own. No point in blaming you, you did not know. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. I'm on my own, broken and alone. I feel the rain crashing down all around this empty town. I'm searching for the lost and found, but you don't care, you're unaware. Keep moving like the scars aren't even there. It's in the air like a blazing flare. Don't stare 'cause the flames will burn us. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. I used to kiss your head when you cried for me. Hold your hand while the pain was over. Keep you warm by the roaring sea. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. My darling dear, you're never here. When I'm in pain, you hide and disappear. Like shadows in the atmosphere, charting the stratosphere. Yeah. I prayed for you and kept you near, in hopes you'd chase away my fears. I'm on my own, you made it so, and now I'm chasing nightmares. I used to run with you through the great big leaves, laugh at you when you laugh at me. Hope for us because I believe the home was just you and me. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by No point in blaming you, you did not know. Oh. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I give you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, I'm gonna do this on my own. No point in blaming you, you did not know. Oh.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Inspire Esports. It's the final day of week number 1, and we've got the Washington Washers against Legion. This is going to be casted by myself, Marks, and Spooky, and we're being produced by the wonderful Joey. Everybody loves Joey. But Spooky, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good, Marks. I'm really excited for this match. It's not just the last match of week number 1, it's the last match of week number 1 of the preseason.
Yes.
So it is the absolute first time we are seeing these teams in Inspire. 10 teams have already come, they've played their games, they've won or they've lost, and it's just these two, Legion and Washington Washers, left. And I'm excited. I think both of these teams have a lot of potential, potentially being towards the top of the bracket once all the dust has settled. So I just want to see them in game.
Oh, absolutely. A lot of these players, especially on Washington Washers' side, we've had the pleasure of casting before, and you know good things are going to be coming out of that team. But Legion too, once again, like you said, Spooky, very promising team. You know, it's going to be interesting to see, especially too in some of this preseason games, to see how these teams meld together, but also stack up against one another. So that's why I love these preseason games, because you know, this is everyone just at their peak mentality, like ready to play and bringing their A game. So this is going to be a good one tonight. And we're going to be starting things off in Lijiang Tower to get this going.
Yeah, it's Control, it's Lijiang, it's an old classic. I am certainly excited, mostly because Lijiang, you know, all the points are so different. You can see a variety of different compositions. So we can really start to actually judge how these teams will perform during the regular season. Since, you know, Control Center is very good for Rush, while you can make far comps, dive comps work on Garden or Night Market if you want to. A lot of different things could come out from these teams. But like I said, it's Control Center. We are going to see the Reinhardts coming out with the Lucios, and it's a pretty classic comp with the Symmetra and Junkrats. It looks like we're going to have the mirror.
I love playing against Symmetra and Junkrat. All the time, Spooky, all the time. But this is
pretty bronze, Marks.
Yeah, you know, listen, sometimes you just get beamed down by a sim and you're going to be having a little bit of a rough day. But the sim really just adds a lot more mobility, wouldn't you say, Spooky?
Yeah, it's very fast to get to the point, as we can see right here as the teams engage. It does look like Legion are taking the early lead, though. They're putting a lot of damage down with Swanky Pants from the junk.
Yeah, right now, just lobbing grenades into that little hallway, all the bounce damage flying into the shield. It's Nick Newbie who gets picked off absolute first, and now Legion, they're just going to be able to walk this one in. The point is going to be unlocking in a couple of seconds, but with how much momentum Legion have been able to gain, this is looking like it's already over. We see Clutch Caliber falling down. Without that Reinhardt, it's going to be even more difficult, and Hudson might have overextended just a little bit. They're going to trade back that Junkrat attack, but right now, hey, Washington, they're pulling this one back, despite the fact that Legion did cap that point first. Washington are now going to be running forwards. Clutch Caliber falling a little bit low, but they're going to be able to flip this one over, Spooky.
And they managed to do that without using ultimates. I thought, you know, Tekio would be able to come in, drop her Amplification Matrix, and that would be something, but they get to save it to use here, where they can actually pressure the enemy team. But Clutch Caliber, ooh, that's close, Mark.
Yeah, massive amplification matrix, immortality field coming through, keeping him alive, and they're able to successfully disengage, but Legion right now, they want to just march this thing forward, fight with the Riptire, does find Polari, but that might not be enough to swing this fight around here. We see the self-destruct is going to be committed, but thankfully the barriers are up, but Elf gets the mech. Oh boy! Suddenly what was looking like a very winnable situation right now is getting turned around as the Washington Washers are engaging on here. Takio falling extremely low, doesn't have the heal boost here, dealing with a Lucio, doesn't even realize what's going on behind him, but right now priority number 1 is that Reinhardt, but Swanky Banks with the, oh, that's gonna be a 3K tire, and that's just gonna melt the Washington Washers down, as now this is just gonna be trickled, and Legion are gonna hold on to this point scarily.
Yeah, Swanky Pants saved that, Marks. With the Symmetra on a map this tight, trading picks during a fight is super important because the rest of your team can get back incredibly quickly with the teleporter. We almost saw that happen with the Washers. They almost retook it, but the tire from Swanky Pants brought Legion back into this, and it's crucial because they would be losing percentage right now. They'd be close to last fight. That's a big shatter.
Yeah, because that's going to be traded back with another one as well. Ben just going in for the kills right now. Might have extended a little bit too deep. The Immortality Field just going to keep him alive as he goes hammer to hammer with Clutch Caliber there. But Legion looks like they're going to be winning out on top, and they're going to be setting up these symmetric turrets just like they did last time.
Yeah, and both barriers have been used recently. I'm not sure if it was in that fight or the last. It didn't seem to make a large impact, potentially when the shatters came down, but no defensive ultimates to get through. Washers are going to have a little bit of a tough time.
Self-Destruct was really good at zoning things out there. Legion buying a little bit of time, specifically off the back of health, but now we're seeing an amplification matrix come in through, and you can see Legion want to take this fight right into the Washington Washers. They're going to be washing the floor with them, actually, as Swanky Panks gets seeing so much value with those grenades, and that's going to be another team fight, Spooky.
Yeah, Swanky Pants was at 70% to his Riptire before that Am Matrix and that 4K. He definitely has it now. And somebody has to touch for Washers, and they're looking into this Riptire that's already coming out. They have to get to the point, Marks.
Swanky Pants able to take out the Immortality Field, but now they're going to be trying to get back here. They're able to make the rotation onto this point. They're in position. Ben drops the Earth Shatter. Unfortunately, doesn't find anybody there, but that's quite all right. Right now, Swanky Panks keeping this fight alive. Fight, though, does have this Riptire. Going to be coming in here, looking for crucial picks. Is able to take out Ixia. That's good. Just make sure that they can't get healed up here. Elf can get demeched as well. Right now, it's an all-out brawl on point, but Washington, they're able to use the sound barrier. It's going to be traded out with one on the opposing side team, making this team fight drag out even more, but Clutch Caliber explodes in an amazing display of fireworks from Swanky Pants. Swanky Pants really carrying this first map here, and Legion, they're going to be winning out this team fight. Only a couple of the last members remaining, and that's going to be round number 1 for Legion, Spooky.
Yeah, an exciting match to start out. All in all, you know, Swanky Pants getting a lot of the work done. The only thing I have to say is, you know, if you held that Riptire for a little bit longer, you certainly would have won that fight. Washers wouldn't even have had the chance, because they were able to save that because they held back with the Immortality Field. And they were able to push forward with the teleporter. If Swanky had held onto that tire until the contest, I don't think there was a single way Washers could have gotten back into it. But at the end of the day, Legion still win. They won with a pretty healthy advantage as well. And let's see if they can keep that going, as we're going to see the Winston Ryan comps coming out. Mirror comps here on Night Market, as both teams will Symmetratella to the point and use the main tank cleave to put down as much damage as they can onto the enemy.
Yeah, and let's not forget McNewbie and Swanky Pants coming in with a Doomfist this time. McNewbie putting things up with a fist to the face of Swanky. And now this is looking like it should be winnable for Washington, especially for this initial capture. Not much you can do when you got McNewbie using his Iron Gauntlet to punch holes in your face.
Hyper Knight also leaded with the charge, Marks. Like, he charged to the teleporter, I'm pretty sure, to catch someone out. That is an aggressive play from the Washers, and it worked out for them, especially Hyper Knight 80% to that shatter. We already see the swaps coming in from Legion. They know that they're not getting that telestrat anymore, so they want to put a lot more long-range damage to punish the Symmetra and Doomfist.
Yeah, but McNewbie's just doing McNewbie things in the back, punches Ixia into the wall again, and this is just going to be a really easy fight for Washington. Not many healers left, and you can just see the aggression coming through. McNewbie's not done yet. He wanted to get that D-Mech, and now they're going to be bouncing out here. Hudson, though, will just get the stealth kill onto Hyper Knight. That's going to set Washington back just a little bit. Legion are now going to be able to get a little bit of ground here. And we can see that they actually want to be taking this fight. They're moving in on point. McNewbie still flying around, able to take out Ben. That might ruin the momentum here, especially to punching Ixia as well. McNewbie does get taken down. Hyper Knight, though, with the Earth Shatter, it's able to take out Hudson. Now Elf trying to keep the rest of the team alive, but now you've got a Primal Raging Winston punching people around in the back line. But don't forget about Hyper Knight, too. He's got a big hammer and wants to meet some people's heads with that one. Hey, Legion, they've been able to push back Washington to their spawn, but they haven't been able... Oh, sorry. No, the other way around. Washington, they're able to hold on to this point. Legion haven't been able to find anything just quite yet, Spooky.
Yeah, they killed both tanks, but I'm assuming that teleporter from fight is still online, which is why they got back so quickly, and now there's another engage.
Yeah, and we can see all the ultimates are being popped right now. McNewbie, oh! Okay, here we go. Let's see how this goes. The tanks have been burned down. Swanky Pants just doing God's work here. Ixia as well, pumping in damage. We see them just cleaning up things now. They've only got a Baptiste here, but Swanky Pants is 1 HP. Tekio keeping that alive, but the tanks have come in and swept from behind. Regardless, Washington, they don't want to give this one up. They're throwing bodies onto point here. We see an Earth Shatter come in. Elf getting to mech, but it's actually going to be an investment. Oh, no! Hyper Knight falls down to the Earth Shatter, which is just going to allow the self-destruct to take them out of the equation. Now, it's just McNewbie on point, but hey, you know what? All things considered, Washington Washers got up to 99% on that one.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. One more good fight coming in from the Washers, and they will bring this to 1-1 and take us to the last point of Lijiang Tower. They're making the swaps, fight going over to the Hanzo to get a little bit more consistent damage down. But Clutch is staying on the Winston. We're going for the double main tank retake coming out here.
Let's see how it goes. McNewbie finding Swanky Pants is a good way to start this out. Ultimates coming on a line for Washington. McNewbie right now just being the star of the show. The amplification matrix gets dropped down by Ixia, but right now McNewbie is just punching people around left and right. Yo, right now, Legion doesn't even know where to look, because everywhere they look, it's going to be a giant monkey, a hammer to the face, or a giant iron fist. So what can you do if you're Legion there, except just kind of get rolled?
Absolutely, a very tanky composition, and I don't want to take away from anyone on the Washers, because I think they all played well, but McNewbie opened that up time and time again, getting the opening picks.
100%.
Just following them up, you know, getting 2Ks, getting 3Ks, just looking incredibly good on the Doomfist. And retaking that point is not easy. And they did it with a fairly suboptimal comp because Clutch Caliber wanted to stay on the Winston to get his Primal Rage. It's not something I disagree with, especially when you have to win one fight, but I thought it might take them a little bit. But no, they brought the aggression and took them down. One more point to get the first win of the map, and we're seeing dueling 6-man dive comps here with a Winston Diva, Sombra Reaper, and Moira Lucio. No one's going to die fast here, Marks. And if you do, you've made a mistake.
We'll see how it goes. We're seeing opposing bubbles just immediately drop down and popped within seconds. McNewbie might be making a couple of mistakes because gets taken down by Swanky Pants. But now, right now, it's just an overall brawl. Washington not looking like they're coming out on top of this one because Legion right now on the back of Swanky Pants has just been doing so much work. And hey, that's going to be the DPS difference as Legion are going to get first cap.
Yeah, Marks, the comp's called 6-man, not 5-man. Once you lose a member, it's not really working out as well.
Pretty quick.
As it might. But that's rough losing your Sombra fast. Look at the EMP difference between Hudson and McNewbie. Hudson he's gonna have it online. Maybe the fight after next, maybe even this fight if he's lucky. That's a very strong ultimate to have before the enemy, and McNewbie's not even close.
Yeah, and Clutch Caliber falls down immediately. You can see Ben now wanting to take this aggression, just move it into the party of the Washington Washers, split them up. We see that Diva flying around like, team, but Hyper Knight, unfortunately, his booster's cut out right above the water, and he's going for a swim.
Yeah, that's rough for Washers. 40%, they don't have a single ultimate online. They're coming up on Tekio's Coalescence, but Ixia has already outmatched her. It's gonna be rough. Hudson almost has the EMP. McNewbie made a little bit of progress getting there, but the ult advantage is solidly in favor of Legion to hold on to this point.
Absolutely, and now Swanky Pants just putting in the damage, but didn't notice the team coming in from behind. Might be a critical mistake. Hudson trying to save it with the EMP. We see in the Coalescence come online. Both of these teams are going to be nice and healthy as long as they stand in a row here, which is exactly what they want to be doing. Elf looking for the denial of the Death Blossom and is able to find fight in all of that. The fight is still going on point. Swanky Pants has rejoined here. We're seeing Yellow Cello commit the sound barrier, just keep the team alive. But right now, Clutch Caliber in the Primal Rage is looking for Swanky Pants. Let's not forget, Swanky Pants still has this Death Blossom in his pocket. If so chooses, he could unleash it to make sure that that team fight is over, but it looks like he doesn't even need it. He's just going to use the normal shotgun blasts because that is more than enough.
Yeah, Mark, so I'm going to call this one. This is over. Washers they've got nothing. They have nothing in the bank. They have to come up with something incredible to pull this fight back, but they're not even 50% to an ultimate. Legion, it's a throw if they lose this one.
Here we go. We're going to be seeing this final engagement here. Swanky Pants looking for a good opportunity. Gets dived on by Clutch Caliber yet again. The EMP does come out online though. So let's see how these hacks go. Ben falling extremely low, but the cleave damage might be good, especially finding the back line. Ixia trying to keep everybody alive with these Moira burst deals, and you know what? The longer this fight goes on, could be not good. We're seeing Tekio use the Coalescence, but gets hacked out of it. Now Ben just using that Primal Rage to slap people around, able to take out Yellow Cello, and like you said, Spooky, that's going to be map number 1 to Legion.
Yeah, Washers made a good fight of it, a lot better than I was expecting, but that really is the ult advantage coming through, and that's because Legion were dominant the entire time. That was 100-0. Legion, they took early first control with that pick on McNewbie, and then they just used every advantage they had from their defensive positioning to hold it. And it's tough because, you know, Washers go into a couple of close fights, and they think they can win it using their ultimates, but using ults to turn a fight and potentially win, you know, it's great if you can do it, because you deny all that percentage. But if you lose, you have no ults for a full 6-man recontest.
Yep.
Washington never had the opportunity because, you know, they'd get a pick, then they'd trade it out, then they'd try and come up with something by using their ultimates, but that would be matched by Legion's ultimates. But the whole time, the percentage is ticking up for Legion. Washers never came in with an ult advantage to try and get the retake. It just never worked out for them. I can't blame them because, like, the fights were close, but at the end of the day, they didn't win a single one. And that is going to go a 1-0 Legion to Washers as we look forward to map 2.
It's kind of crazy because thinking about that map, what I noticed, Spooky, was it really was kind of a battle between Swanky Pants and McNewbie. When Swanky Pants was popping off, there was absolutely nothing that Washington Washers could do against them. But the same could be said about McNewbie, especially on that second point. You know, that Doomfist, so brutal, so overwhelming, and Legion really just didn't have an answer to it. I feel like each round, minus the first one of course, was so dominantly on one of these teams' plates that it's just the world of difference how much one player can be such a big impact.
Yeah, absolutely. Swanky Pants really taking over control center, getting multiple 3Ks, 4Ks, then, you know, he's matched by McNewbie on the Doomfist. But it's almost coming down to that last one. It's almost the team difference. And I don't... It's tough, you know, because Legion got that opening pick. And you really see in Control how crucial it is to win that first fight. I'm sure everyone can realize how defensively favored all of Overwatch maps are, you know? Just being able to stand on point and not have to use your cooldowns to engage is such a great impact, especially to a team that plays so well together, which I think both of these teams have put on a good performance so far. I'm definitely excited to see more, but that defensive boon they get from just capping first point is crucial. And Legion kind of got it for free. Just McNewbie getting caught out, then they cap that point so easily. It's tough, you know. I could have really gone either way, but that last point, it felt like it was dominated by who won the first fight.
Absolutely. I mean,
you know, they're like, these teams seem pretty evenly matched.
Yes.
But it's just that defensive positioning, being able to time your dives a little more cleanly, going to Legion, and they just dominated that last point. But overall, this game's close, Marks. We've only seen one map. I
definitely agree with you there. I'm excited to see what these teams are going to be busting out. The next map that we are going to be queuing up is Blizzard World. So we're going to be getting our hybrid map right here, right now, Spooky.
Yeah, Blizzard coming out. That's an interesting choice, you know. King's Row is in the pool. Eichenwald as well. Both generally fan-favored maps, I believe. King's Row for sure. Eichenwald, I like it. I think a lot of other people
You're
do.
a fan. You're a fan.
Yeah, I'm a fan. It's my favorite. I do enjoy Eichenwald. But I think we can all agree that Blizzard World is probably pretty low on the preferred hybrid maps. So
Yes.
I believe this would have been Washington Washers' pick, having lost the game or lost the first match. So maybe they have something special put out for this specific map. So they choose it over the King's Row, which would generally be a Rushmere, over the Eichenwald, which is, it's a varied place, but yeah, you generally do see a lot of rush, a little bit of dive potentially. So I think I do like this, if they want to come out on the double shields, which both teams are teasing right now. Obviously Legion on the defense, so they're the ones who have to stick with it. But if you want to play the double shield, I don't mind Blizzard World. I think it's a good map for it. There are a lot of high ground positions you can set up on and try and dominate with that bunker. So let's see if Washington Washers want to run out with this. On the offense, it looks like they do. Double shield, double sniper.
McNewbie?
Yeah, I want to see if McNewbie will stay on the Widow. It looks like they will. With Yellow Cello on the Zen. And Discord and a couple of headshots. That's a dead anything.
Yeah, that definitely seems like right now Washington Washers want to play this incredibly aggressively. Ben already getting beamed down so much, thankfully able to back off here. Set up that bunker, but right now, Washington Washers are just on the attack. Look at how far they've already moved up. They've gotten just this space for free. Yellow Cello's Discord has made anybody who pokes their head out be just a little bit more scared of what could happen here. Now the fight is going to be going underway. Rocks are being thrown around. Hudson on the deep flank though. Looking for the Widowmaker. Wants to try and contest that, but also just play this main side because Swanky Panks was able to find Yellow Cello. Now, without that threat of the Discord looming over their heads, Legion are feeling a little bit more comfortable. We're seeing amplification matrices fly down from both sides, but looks like both of these teams don't really want to poke their heads out. As soon as you do, well, that's exactly what's going to happen. Trades going back and forth. We're going to see a res come off here. Elf falling extremely low is going to be taken down. McNewbie also found Ben as well. Now the Dragon Strike coming through here, but is this more defensive or offensively favored for the Respawn, Spooky?
It's hard to say, largely because these comps are very strange, quite honestly. Washers are coming out with a DPS heavy comp. You're hoping for headshots coming out from Fight, coming out from McNewbie. Legion actually have to get back on point. They did not lose the last fight, Marks. They just come for the regroup, but
let's see how this goes now. Elf has that grab online, gonna be investing it into the back line here, but Clutch Caliber was able to find Ben. He's gonna find one and lift him up into the air, but just like you said, Legion, they did stay on the point right now, so regardless of what happens with this team fight, and it even looks like it's going in Washington's favor, they're just gonna be marching that things forward. You can see Ben just like, oh, okay, we lost the point. Let's just back things up and wait for the team to kind of get back into position here.
Marks, am I losing my mind, or did Legion just leave the point? They did not lose that first fight.
They disengaged, but they disengaged a little too hard.
They left the point, Marks. That is
a tactical disengage. How about that?
Second point now. Now in the books. All the positioning going to Washers, which is really good for their snipers. It's really good for their Zenyatta. They should be able to push forward fairly aggressively, like we see now, to put the damage towards Legion. And McNewbie gets a headshot.
Yeah, if a Widowmaker's popping up, not too much you can do about that one. Fight also popping off as well. Amplification Matrix thrown in addition to the Supercharger, but this is looking on Washington all day. They're going to be moving this one all the way up into Legion's face. They've got somebody on the cart. They only need one person there, but look at that, Spooky. They're already basically on point. Finally, Legion are going to try and contest this one out on point. Hudson swapping to the Widowmaker, trying to find a couple of picks on his own. Trying to take this into his own two hands. Let's see how this goes. A lot of misses right now, which is a little unfortunate because, especially too with a character like Widowmaker, you gotta make sure you find those headshots. Elf, meanwhile, just trying to pump them back. Him and Ben trying to keep this thing alive for as long as possible. A grab is going to be coming online for Elf, but it looks like he just wants to be saving it. Never mind. Investing it into the backline. Able to find Fight, taking him out of this fight right now. Now we're going to be seeing the Sigmas duel it on the top, but looks like Legion are going to be able to hold this one back. Hudson coming alive. He heard what I said and and had something to say about it, honestly, and just kind of popped the fuck off right there, and that's going to be the fight win.
Yeah, absolutely. Pop the freak off, like you said. Now, looking forward, it's the Hudson has his ultimate, but that's pretty much the only thing that is going for them, the infra side, which they can wait out. It's largely going to be a dry engage unless Tekio can actually find where to put this amplification matrix, which could do a lot of damage, especially with this bunker-based comp. Both the tanks are going to be putting down a lot of damage through it, and already Ben can feel it, feeling the need to disengage and touch the cart.
Yeah, and McNewbie looking for the Widowmaker duel. Right now, Hudson just putting in so much damage. You can see Washington want to keep an eye on where Hudson is. Meanwhile, McNewbie in the back line almost found the Mercy head, but Sigma just a little bit bigger than a Mercy. That's going to allow him to absorb the damage. The amplification matrix coming online, up into the air, Swanky Pants got nothing. It's just like shooting fish out of a barrel. And the rest is going to be coming through, but McNewbie's in such a prime position to kind of make that one happen. We're going to be seeing the Supercharger get dropped down from both of these teams right now, but Legion looks like they're going to be winning this battle out. Ben just charging forwards now, just wants to get this final pick onto Clutch. And as soon as that comes through, this is looking like it's going to be another fight win for Legion.
Yeah, and we're seeing the swaps come out from Washers. They realize that it definitely is hard to make the Widow work, so McNewbie swaps over to the Ashe now. They need to play this a little more slowly, have a little bit more consistent damage coming in than trusting for the pop-off potential of the Widow. But Hudson, you know, McNewbie's got to watch out. There's 2 hit skin on the other side who are going to be gunning for him. 60 seconds on the clock, and not a lot of ultimates online for Washington Washers. But Legion have some pretty good ones, especially that Gravitic Clutch.
Yep, and Hudson just takes McNewbie out of the fight immediately. Once again, pretty easy to shoot when they're suspended mid-air. Now, this is going to be a lot of ultimates being committed on here. Clutch Caliber caught out of position, and Swanky Pants has his number. Elf actually does pick up the kill there, but so much damage. Swanky Pants just been doing an amazing job. Nobody can stop Hudson, though. Never mind, McNewbie's on the case. Takes Hudson out as well, but it's not after fight has already been lost. Now, this is looking like it is Legion's fight to lose here. They've got the high ground. And, well, Washington, they have to make something happen here. Only 15 seconds left on the clock, Spooky.
Yeah, and who's going to touch Marks? They get a pick, which can let them get there, which is great. I mean, the card regressed so much, so they don't have to force their way into enemy territory to get the touch. But it's... they need to win here and now. It's overtime. This is truly their last chance after a pretty dominant start.
Yeah, absolutely. And here we go. The amplification matrix is going to be dropped down, but Tekio falls down. Hudson takes him out. And now it's going to be a fight on the point going around. Swanky Pants has swapped over to the Tracer, just trying to pressure down that backline with in addition of Hudson. That's going to make such a deadly DPS combo. Hudson is going for the fight, but McNewbie wins that one out. This could be all right for the Washington Washers. After all, only 2 tanks between them and victory, but they do have the Supercharger down. McNewbie has to be a little bit more careful, getting beamed down, but now they've got a Supercharger of their own. The blue juice of lightning is going to help make this fight a lot more winnable. Hudson is swapped over to the Doomfist. They're trying to go for those fast picks, look for anybody, and get in there as soon as possible. Hudson trying to make this happen, but gets taken out immediately. Hyper Knight finding that kill, and right now this is looking like Legion are going to be losing this one out. Just the steamroll that is the Washington Washers is going to wash their way to victory on for point number 2.
And against McNewbie, popping off when he is needed to actually deliver the fight win to Washers after they got stalled out for so long. I do think the lower approach helped them a lot as well. Instead of trying to contest the high ground, they were able to get a little bit better sight lines on that approach. But now we're going to see Ben swap over to the Reinhardt. So this double shield is going to have a lot of trouble pushing forward. They have to get the picks first. But that's a big Gravitic Flux.
That's 3 of them, including your main tank. What do you do except crumble as Legion are going to be swarming all over the Washington Washers, looking for those exit pits, able to find half of them. And Legion, they're a little bit upset about that last point, so they're making their presence known.
Yeah, Hyper Knight goes over to the Rhine to match, and we see Yellow Chill swap to Lucio as well. So it is going to be these mirror rush comps for 3rd points. You know, tight corners, close range, it makes sense. Now we're going to see which DPS can actually do more damage to the shield, which can put on more pressure. It looks like it's going to be fights. That is the go signal for Washington.
Yeah, and a nice dragon as well. Elf couldn't escape from that one, and we see Ben just stuck in the little corner there. Oh, you hate to see that happen, but now Washington Washers are going to be moving their way all the way to their spawn. This is such a familiar hold to what they did on second point, but hey, Legion, they're not out of this yet. A lot of ultimates online. We're going to be seeing the Twin Dragons fly through, but the Amplification Matrix has been dropped down in front of them. It's going to find another Amplification as well, but Ben finding Yellow Cello could make this more difficult. Without their Lucio, that's gonna be a lot more difficult. Swanky Pants with the Deadeye, looking for something here. It's not gonna find nothing but shield. And now let's see how it goes. Oh, it's a huge shatter. That's gonna be both the main tanks down, and now Swanky Pants is just kind of styling on the Washington Washers, as that is gonna be a hold before point number 3.
Yeah, and Mark's Ben came up with the big shatter, but the real hero of that fight was either Elf or Swanky Pants. I'm not sure who, but somebody stunned Clutch Caliber out of his Gravitic Flux. Ooh. I'm not sure if that was the flashbang or the rock, the accretion coming out from Elf, but somebody did manage to hit that, because I definitely thought that Gravitic Flux from Washers, followed up by the Amplification Matrix, could have definitely net them that point 3. But instead, you know, the stun comes out, denies the ultimate, and Legion just gets to flood their way back onto the point and stop them there. Just with point A, point B, and now they have a pretty solid win condition to work for, but definitely a clutch play to shut down Clutch Caliber.
Absolutely, and you know, you mentioned something after map number 1, saying how closely these teams are matched skill-wise, and honestly, it seems like both of these teams are just winning team fights so decisively and so quickly. It's going back and forth all of the time, and so this is getting really contested between both Legion and the Washers here.
Yeah, I do agree. I think Washers have put on a fairly strong performance, but I'm a little curious, you know. Legion have been, so far, they won a lot of fights on point B. They managed to come out and win that point C fight. If they hadn't given away point A, I'm curious if that scoreline, if that scoreline would be the same. Legion so generous, just donating a point to their enemy. But I'm curious if the scoreline would be the same, because they're looking good, Marks. Now it's the double shield from Washington Washers to come up against the double bubble of Legion. McNewby's got to keep an eye on the skies, because Swanky Pants is going to be raining down hell.
Yeah, let's see how this goes. It's going to be McNewby trying to contest that Pharah Echo Pocket. But meanwhile, Clutch Caliber going in on, Hudson on the Tracer. That's going to support the dive quite a bit. McNewby looking for that kill. Was able to find that on the last map, but right now, just moved out of the way and canceled out a dive here. Oh, but there's just too much pressure from Swanky Pants right now. We talked about how good Swanky Pants has been, and it's just continuing to shine. What a stick as well from Hudson. And, well, that's going to be the Swanky Pants diff right there, Max.
Yeah, that's definitely a standout player. Swanky Pants has been showing his expertise on these projectile heroes, and that was, what, a 3 or 4K with the res as well, coming out from Swanky Pants. 50% to that duplicate. And Washers are coming out with something a little unconventional. I'm curious if Clutch wasn't able to swap in time, but I think they might have been trying to swap over to the same double bubble, Clutch being the Winston player, but instead he's stuck on the Sigma. Eventually does make the swap over. But they're definitely behind in ult percentage, and that is not what you want to see, and especially with ults like Graviton Surge and Duplicate online.
That's true. We're going to be seeing McNewby. Oh! Right went in to punish that res, but Elf had his number. Just beamed him down with this Zarya beam. Elf getting so much charge, able to get a little bit of health here. We see the dive come through, but right now that's not where you want to be, Clutch. In the jaws of the enemy Zarya. Now we're seeing the ultimate come online. Ben slapping people around in the back line, able to find Yellow Cello, and now this is just all falling apart for the Washington Washers. Legion keeping their lead alive. Ben going all the way up into their spawn, so confident, but Legion are looking absolutely fantastic right now.
Yeah, McNewby has the Bob at least to contest the point. So they should get a good fight going on, but the grab is already out. That is so many members. Pekio is doing her best to keep them up and manages it, and the bot touches the point.
Never seen Swanky Pants. Has the duplicate, already charged up the Primal Rage, looking for an opportunity to use it. Gonna be trying to challenge Yellow Cello on this Brig. If you can take the Brig out, this is absolutely huge beaut. But now just trying to disposition out, McNewby there. Unsuccessful in doing so. McNewby able to find Ben. And finally, Washington Washers, they're pushing Legion back. I'm getting deja vu right now, Spooky.
Yeah, and it's McNewbie once again who saves the fight, picking up 3, putting the Bob down to contest the point. So many ultimates came out from Legion, but they could not capitalize on them. And suddenly, Washington Washers get a second breath of life because they were facing down like a 5-minute time bank for that last point.
Fight now. A lot of ultimates online. We're seeing the Nano Boost get committed onto Fight though, looking for a target here. Also has the Pulse Bomb, ready to pop it at any time. Hudson's gonna have to back off here. He's gonna pick up that health back, but with the Rally Armor, it's not something you want to engage, especially without anybody else. And it looks like Washington Watchers are successfully able to keep the Legion at bay.
Yeah, Legion a little bit slow. They lost their Ana early, so of course they want to back off. They come in here, they get a pick, but it's 5v5 here on point. Ben is so low.
Yeah, Ben got the Pulse Bomb on his back, had to Primal just to keep himself alive, but that took out a big chunk of health. Hudson missed the stick. It doesn't matter, the fight's still going on. They're all stuck in a little bit of a gravity well right on that point. Now, we're seeing the re-engage from Clutch Caliber, trying to push back Elf. Elf falling extremely low, but had that Mercy Pocket. Thankfully, all of the damage was able to come through, as now they're just going to be chasing down Polari. She falls down, and just like that, Washington are back in control of the cart.
Yeah, but they do use the Gravitic Flux to do so, and Legion is building up to one of their own, the Graviton Surge, rather, with the Zarya Ultimate. So Legion should have that advantage, but the team comps aren't super grouped together, Marks.
No.
Potentially you land on a Winston, land on a Brig, and just run them over, but let's see exactly how Legion want to push forward with these big ultimates coming up.
Yeah, we're seeing Swanky Banks having the duplicate online, probably looking for a good target, able to get onto a Tracer. Now there's 2 Tracers, too many problems if you are the Washington Washers. We're seeing the Pulse Bomb get thrown out, trying to contest McNewbie back here. McNewbie kind of being scared, but Swanky Banks is finally able to beam him down. Goes back into that Echo form, going to be getting away from the Bob here. There's also going to be seeing Fight, but right now it's Clutch Caliber that he's got his eyes on, able to take him out, and now it's just going to be a fight for the cart. The time bank is going down, but look at this, Spooky. They're still not able to win out that team fight, despite all of the ultimate investing.
Yeah, a lot of trades coming out. They didn't seem to capitalize on one target or dove on one. Someone else on their team got dove on. So they don't actually get a numbers advantage at any point, especially with that Bob on the field. McNewbie swapping over to the Tracer to do exactly that. Then Legion are going to have to reset. They cannot commit the Graviton Surge or any other ultimates into this fight without their Tracer there. But Marks, they have the grab Pulse Bomb ready. That could be an instant 3K if you do it right. If Hyper Knight doesn't have the bubbles, and Tekio just wasted the Nano Boost, trying to find a good engagement, but did not. So this grab Pulse Bomb has to be big because they have 40 seconds to come up with something.
And let's not forget, Yellow Cello does have the rally. Gonna be popping it now. Hudson looking around for a target. Squishy Brig pops in front of you. That might be something here. We see the combo come through, and it's able to take out Yellow Cello. And now the rest of Legion are just going to be able to come in and collapse on Washington Washers. That's going to be the team fight. Finally, Legion should be able to push this one to point number 2 just before the time bank expires.
Yeah, they do manage to do it. It's a little far back. I could see a world where Washers contest. Clutch Caliber is waiting for it with the Primal Rage. The Yellow Cello dies. I don't think this is going to work out.
Oh, Primal is going to be committed here, looking for a target, not able to find too much, but we see the Wrecking Ball come in as well. Swanky Pants going to have to use that duplicate just to make sure that they win this team fight right now, because it looks like the Washers are going to be trying to re-engage this. Hudson misses the Pulse Bomb, but let's see how the rest of this turns out. Right now, trades are going back and forth. It's hard to say who's going to be the winner of this team fight here. For the point, we're seeing Fight fall extremely low. Hudson trying to make this come alive, but the Nano is going to be invested as well. Fight looking around, almost has that Pulse Bomb, gets put to sleep, but it's going to be Yellow Cello on the Brig who's able to keep Hudson at bay, and with him falling down, that's going to be the Washington Watchers winning out map number 2.
Marks, they come out of nowhere. Clutch Caliber, knowing that he's so close to that Primal Rage, decides to hide and drop onto point to actually save that one out. I want to note that I believe both of the tank players for Washington Watchers are mainly main tanks. I know we've seen some Sigma play. I'm not sure if we've seen too much Diva, maybe a little bit from Clutch, but they are both main tanks, and that's usually a detriment, you know, if you don't have anyone who's really solid on the Zarya, on the Diva. But Hyper Knight gets to swap over to the ball there.
Yeah.
And then you get to play the Winston ball. You get to play double maintain compositions. Yellow Cello comes back out on the break, which is great for the stall, especially with someone like barely any members died. It was just clutch. And then Tekio commits the Nano Boost onto their Tracer as well.
Yep.
And it's all based on Clutch Caliber having literally HP and being able to stall that out. But Hyper Knight Swapper to the ball really did a lot of work as well. That is altogether 500, 1,000 plus another 1,000 HP from the ball. That's 2,500 damage you have to get through to move the card. And it does give time for Fight and McNewbie to come back in with the support of the Nano Boost and the Brig to actually take that fight and turn it around. Great play from Washers. I thought that one was over.
Oh, absolutely. Spooky, if it was one of us in the Washers, I would have been like, this is over. I'm not even going to bother to try and re-engage it. But they believed, they saw the light, and they were going for it. And it worked out for them. What should have been Legion able to find that, unfortunately for them, Washington Washers were able to come back. And they've now tied up our series 1-1, Spooky.
Yeah, and it's truly great play because Washers, that was the second time they were very close to losing that point B. If McNewbie hadn't clutched up that first time, I think we would be 2-0 Legion. But Washers showing they have a lot of clutch potential, and not just with the tank player on their team. They have a lot of clutch potential as a team. They're able to show up in these last moments and come out strong. Definitely strong performances from both teams, but I guarantee you Legion have to be kicking themselves after losing that point A, when I'm sure they could have potentially recontested it.
Yeah, Legion, honestly, up until that point, were just looking so good against Washington. Like, it looked like they would have been able to, they were winning out these team fights. They just looked more composed. That first point was so fast that Legion were able to walk over them. And so just to see that happen, like, that's got to boom your mental just a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. But, 1-1, tied up. Shake it off, go into the next one. And it does look like we are going to get Rialto coming up as our escort map.
Okay.
A lot of different comps you can play. Generally more the rush-based compositions, the Reinhardt Lucio. Especially, that first point, that third point, where there are a lot of close range or close quarters and close corners that you can just kind of swing around, kind of play the damage off the shield, off the corner before you actually want to engage. But it's a lot of long sightlines as well, which I think plays really well into the double shield composition if they want to run that. And both teams have dabbled in it a little bit.
Yeah.
I feel like Washers maybe a little bit more, but both teams play a lot of double shield on Blizzard World. Let's see if they continue it with Rialto, or if we'll go down to the old classic Reinhardt Lucio brawl comp.
Listen, as much as I love to see the standard rush compositions, we've seen how great there are some snipers in this lobby, specifically Hudson, McNewbie. So, I wouldn't be surprised if we did see a lot more of this double shield, and it looks like on the defense at least, that's exactly what the Washers want to be showing us.
Thank you.
Yeah, and it's a little bit more common than their Zen comps they were running before. They run the Ashe as well instead of the Widow. I think both the Mercy and Widow picks are good. Widow not as Ashe not as reliant as on the headshots. The Mercy pocket helping out as well as the Resurrect in case someone does fall early. It is a very good composition for taking high ground positions and holding them. The problem is at some point you have to contest the point.
Yeah.
Just hope you get your kills before that.
And what do you think about Swanky Pants playing that far up?
I'm curious if he'll get value. I mean, once this bunker falls on the point and tries to contest, he should eliminate them. But, McNewbie already has an eye on him, and he can barely find a target. The architecture and the shields are both working against him.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing Hudson fall down, but it's going to be a quick little res, bring him back into the fight. Like you said, McNewbie's been doing a great job of kind of keeping Swanky in check. Finally, they are on the ground, which is going to open things up a little bit. But Clutch Caliber did find Polari to slow down that Legion push. Right now, everybody kind of under fire, using the architecture to keep themselves alive. Right now, Legion are in a great position to kind of bunker it down. But, like you said, the attackers also have to touch the cart at some point as well. Clutch Caliber being the one to find Swanky out of the air. not what you would expect here, but hey, Washington, they'll take it. And right now, this is just going to be a little bit of bullets being traded back and forth between these two teams. McNewby able to find Ben, no res online for them right now. We can see Ixia wanting to back off completely as they're going to abandon that, honestly, high platform there. Swanky, though, does have the barrage and looking for an opportunity to use it, Spooky.
Yeah, and there's no defense matrix. Clutch Caliber can throw his shield in the way if he's quick enough, but it's not, you know, it's not Panacea or anything. It won't deny the barrage completely. And especially if Swanky Pants can get around the corner, they don't see him coming, he could put it down to great effect. Still, a lot of ults online for Washington Washers, and he can't use an ultimate if you're... The Amplification Matrix putting down so much damage, and Legion, they get the res off, but they seem to be struggling to find a way to actually engage this double shield composition.
Yeah, but we're going to be seeing the barrage and Bob committed in an Amplification Matrix as well, and Ben couldn't escape. He was stuck between a cart and a brick wall. Unfortunately, the shield didn't come out in time to keep him alive. Now the dueling dragons are going to be traded out from both sides, but this is looking like Washington are just in a better position to capitalize on them. Clutch Caliber also has the grab online, but probably won't be using it here because right now, well, hey, they forced Swanky Pants off the Pharah, now running a Tracer. So that shows you that Legion are looking for a different answer to this.
Yeah, and they need to come up with something. The barrage got nothing. Swanky Pants is going to swap over to the Ashe. They do have a solid ult advantage, as I believe Washers panicked a little bit trying to win that fight after the barrage. But still, you're halfway through point A, and you got a minute left.
We're seeing the grab come online. The supercharger. Oh, that was such a great rock. Clutch Caliber trying to fight it off against a Baptiste and an Ashe, deciding to take the high road and disengage here. But there's so much pressure coming in on that high ground. Hyper Knight able to get the better half of Ben now. And this is looking like, once again, Washington are going to be able to hold on to this. The supercharger just allowing them to just get so much damage in. And trying to squeeze through that little corridor into a hellfire of bullets is going to be near impossible for Legion.
And the 3 ult advantage Legion had is nothing. It's nil. It's gone. And now, coming up on multiple ultimates, 4 almost for Washington Washers, they're in great position to actually hold point A. And not just point A, just around the bend. Hudson has something to say about it, but let's see if it's enough.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing the Amplification Matrix come out here. Tekio trying to keep everybody alive. It's going to be extremely difficult because there's just so much damage coming out of that Amplification Matrix. Now with the Dragon coming in as well, that's going to spell the end of this Washington Washers defense here. Now it's just a fight alone. They should have enough time to come and recontest this before point number 1. But, oh, Hudson trying to duel against Fight. Let's see who comes out on top. He's going to be disengaging, able to escape. They're going to commit the Dragons. And now, this is going to be Washington trying to re-engage here. Let's see how this goes. The bomb is going to be thrown onto the cart. Oh, it kicks somebody up into the air. And Fight is coming alive. Finds a 3K just in the back line. Nobody's checking at all. And McNewby's bomb is just going to be beaming down. Clutch Caliber getting another 2K as well. That was the round of 2Ks, Spooky. And Washington Washers are looking more than comfortable on that defense.
Yeah, dominant defense from Washers, you know. They only lose that singular fight. They get pushed off the high ground, but they're able to hold the corner very well on their double shield compositions. Really just fighting McNewby, putting down so much damage. And honestly, Clutch Caliber putting on an incredible performance on the Sigma. Like we said, this guy is a Winston player, a no-brain, no-aim monkey, as they say. But he puts on a absolute dominant performance on the Sigma, and looks fantastic doing so. So I love to see that coming out of Clutch. He looks very comfortable on the hero, and there were multiple times, you know, he picked the far out of the sky, he went up and contested the high ground on his own. Very proactive player on this off tank, and I think that was a large part to their success in this defense. Now Legion, looking to match it with a similar composition, it's still going to be tough.
Absolutely. And to all the Winston mains out there, don't worry. I've got your back. I love you just the way that you are. Don't listen to what Spooky has to say here. You can aim.
That was a compliment. That is how you play Winston. No brain, no aim, monkey main is how you get 4.3k easily.
Well, regardless, all Winston players are great, unless you're just throwing the game, and that's a little bit of a problem here. But right now, Washington Washers, this is so winnable. They just have to make it to point number 1, and they're going to be winning this out. Legion, they've got to be sweating a little bit. They're going to be running a double shield, but Washington Washers have McNewby on this Widowmaker. It's been very effective before. Let's see if we can make it happen again.
Yeah, they go back to the double sniper Zen comp. It puts a lot of pressure on the DPS to actually show up. But the Zen should give you the advantage in the tank duel. If the Orisa Sigma go up against their counterparts on the other side, that Discord Orb should win that fight for you 100% of the time. But it's not a lot of healing, you don't have the res online, and you're really hoping that McNewbie pop off. McNewbie somehow in this back line, and he's skeet shooting marks.
Yep, it's not great, but we are going to be seeing an amplification matrix drop down by Ixia. That's going to just help keep the team a little bit more alive, but right now it's not looking too good.
Where is he?
McNewbie just deep on the flank. Somebody tell Sam Fisher because they found his cousin and his name is McNewbie. Just going around on all the crazy angles, going for the stealth snipe shots. Is taken down, but hey, that was a lot of card progress for Washington. They almost made it out of that bend.
Yeah, they're definitely farther than where Legion got stopped, but they haven't really won a fight. They've taken some positioning. They're coming up on their ultimates, almost all of them. And let's see if they can use that to advantage. An early pick on the Mercy. There's no res for that one. And look at it.
Oh, Hudson keeping this one alive, though. Able to find the support line with his dragons there. That's going to slow Washington down quite a bit because now they're not going to be able to get heals on a line. We're going to be seeing a lot of pressure coming here, but looks like Washington are going to hold their ground on that top line. We're seeing the swap come in, and now they're going to be looking to re-engage.
Yeah, you know, both supports fall to the dragon, so not much you can do. You don't have any health. McNewbie's just chilling on the sideline. He's going for some weird flanks, and I guess it only has to work once, right? and then that's a fight win. We see the Gravitic Flux as well. And another pick onto the Mercy.
McNewbie has Polari in his sights all the time and just wants to punish it every single time. It's got to be difficult if you're Polari right now, but the brawl is still happening on site despite the fact that McNewbie's been able to find these single picks. Overall, Legion, they've just been winning out the team fight that is happening on the cart. So, you know, Washington, they got to try changing things up, and it looks like that's going to start with McNewbie changing onto Ashe.
Yeah, it's a little bit more consistent damage, and while the Widow picks have been really flashy, Swanky Pants has been standing strong on points and just putting down the damage into the front line. Doesn't need to go on these flanks because he knows he can just pump it in to the tanks. And so far, Washers, after a brilliant defense, they might be losing this map.
Let's see how this goes. Hudson finds the early pick onto McNewbie. They can see Washington, they want to be backing off here. The double dragons are committed. We're going to be seeing them start to move forwards here, but right now, Hyper Knight just doesn't even know where to look. An amplification matrix coming down as well. And a grab thrown in to kind of disrupt that right now. It's going to force out a lot of ultimates, but Hudson already has a Dragon Strike back online. Going to be looking for an opportunity to use it. Sees the Supercharger. Might be the time to pop it. That's going to be the Dragons coming through here. Should be able to take the Supercharger out of the equation. Clutch Caliber falling extremely low. Finally able to escape. Let's see how this goes. The damage coming in. Tekio able to find Ben is a pretty instrumental pick, but now there's a bomb in their back line. And Washington, they don't know how to deal with the giant mechanical butler. They're looking around in all directions, and that's going to be a Legion pinching in and taking them out yet again. Only 10 seconds left for Washington Washers to make this one work, but I don't even know that they're going to be able to touch the cart.
They have to swap to something. We see the Lucio, we see the ball, but it is not looking likely, Marks. Hyper Knight last second. But they have to win the fight still, and I do not think it's likely.
All right, let's see how it goes. Fight right now needs to pop off once again. Already, though, Hyper Knight and Yellow Shell are going to be falling down. That's going to make this recontest even more difficult. They are able to find Ixia. That's pretty good. Clutch finding Swanky Pants as well. That's the main damage dealer, main source of healing right now, taken out. This is still looking winnable. A huge ultimate coming in from Clutch Caliber. Gonna find two with that one. Clutch has been getting the double kills all night with his ultimates, but right now we're seeing all of the picks, all of the slaves coming through. We see the Supercharger come online. Hyper Knight falling extremely low, but the rest of the team is around. Now this is looking like it could go either way. Legion are slowly making their way back onto site right now, trying to make sure that they can't push forwards, but right now, Washington Washers, they might be able to come back. They might be able to win this out. McNewbie has this bomb online, going to be committing it in, throws in the dynamite as well. Ixia falling extremely low, has to use the immortality reality field just to keep himself alive. But now it's looking like Washington are going to be able to potentially win this out. They've got the DPS and support trapped in a little room there, and with the dynamite coming off, it's going to implement a lot of damage. Reinhardt swinging the hammer. Fight. Okay, here we go. This is going to be finding Swanky Pants. The flux comes through, doesn't find too much, but oh no, it's looking like Washington are starting to fall apart. Hudson has come back into the fight, gets taken out immediately. Hyper Knight trying to make this work, but now it's all Clutch Caliber all alone on the point. And oh my goodness, Spooky, that almost turned around and Washington Washers almost won that out, but that is going to be Legion taking our series 2-1.
Yeah, that was nuts, Marks. I really thought been able to get away with that one, and they truly would have gotten away with it because they had no business winning 2 fights in a row in overtime, especially on all these different stall heroes. But look at Fight just opening that up on their defense to win that out. Unfortunately, that is also where Washers would fall later in the map. What an interesting Rialto coming out.
Interesting is definitely a really good word to explain what we had just witnessed there. I want to say, Legion were not doing a good job of keeping a fight in check on that Hanzo. I think that was the key piece that allowed the Washington Washers to hold that defense, but also the reason why they were almost able to win out that map. Fight has been so good on this Hanzo, this entire map on Rialto, Spooky.
Yeah, it's definitely some solid DPS play, honestly, coming out from both sides. But Marks, at this point, I have to look at Washington Washers. I have to look at those double snipers and Yada comps. I have a lot to say about them. And if you want to hear it, you should come back after this break. We're going to take a quick few-minute break so each team can, rest, relax after that Rialto before we go into Temple of Anubis. But please don't go anywhere. You'll get to hear all of my thoughts on the Washington Washers compositions as well as the fourth match in this 2-1 game. Legion leading over Washers. Don't go anywhere. This game has been a banger so far, and we'll see you in just a couple minutes.
Like shadows in the atmosphere, charting the stratosphere. Yeah. I prayed for you and kept you near in hopes you'd chase away my fears. I'm on my own, you made it so, and now I'm chasing nightmares too. I used to run with you through the great big leaves, laugh at you when you laugh at me. Hope for us because I believe the home was just you and me. I thought you were the one for me, that's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas, oh you meant the world to me. Oh you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, I'm gonna do this on my own. No point in blaming you, you did not know. Oh, I thought you were the one for me, that's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas, oh you meant the world to me. I'm on my own, broken and alone. I feel the rain crashing down all around this empty town. I'm searching for the lost and found, but you don't care, you're unaware. Keep moving like the scars aren't even there. It's in the air like a blazing flare. Don't stare 'cause the flames will burn us. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. I used to kiss your head when you cried for me. Hold your hand while the pain was over. Keep you warm by the roaring sea. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. My darling dear, you're never here. When I'm in pain, you hide and disappear. Like shadows in the atmosphere, charting the stratosphere. Yeah. I prayed for you and kept you near, in hopes you'd chase away my fears. I'm on my own, you made it so, and now I'm chasing nightmares through. I used to run with you through the great big leaves, laugh at you when you laugh at me. Hope for us because I believe the home was just you and me. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, I'm gonna do this on my own. No point in blaming you, you did not know. Oh, I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, I'm gonna do.
Welcome back, everybody, to Inspire Esports. Boy, how do we have a game for you. It's Legion up against the Washington Washers, and as promised, Spooky, what do you think about Washington Washers Zenyatta composition?
Discord Orb is bad with Widow. Anyway, we're going forward. It's 2-1 in favor of Legion. We are going towards Temple of Anubis. I think both teams are just about ready, so we should be getting into it in just a few seconds. We do see a swap coming in. We see a couple of swaps coming in, actually, for Washington Washers. Clutch Caliber is going to be coming out, being replaced by PT Handley, who we have not seen yet, who is, to my knowledge, a very good diva.
Yep.
So, potentially, Washers going for more of that solid off-tank comps, potentially dive base, potentially rush with diva, because I don't think we saw much out of Clutch Caliber. You know, he's been very good on the Sigma, he's played a little bit of the Winston. Diva, not really his forte. So we do see PT Handley coming in. We also see McNewbie out for Mr. Crit, I'm very curious to see exactly what's going to come out of this, because McNewbie has been a stellar player for Washington so far. He's been popping off on the Doomfist, on the hit scan as well. So I'm excited to see exactly what Washers want to run out for Temple of Anubis, taking 2 players that have honestly impressed me out to play this composition, whatever they have going on. So I'm definitely excited. On the side of Legion, no changes, and why would you? They're looking good.
They definitely are looking good, and if Legion win one more, then they are going to be closing out the series here, because it is a best of 5. But, you know, this makes me wonder, maybe Washington Washers, they've got a specific strategy for Temple of Anubis, which is why we are seeing some of these players swap in, or maybe the Washers have been holding back on us, and this is when we get to see them in their true and final form here. So regardless, very excited to see how this is going to go, because Washington Washers, they're bringing some new talent to the table, and they're going against, as we had said before, Legion was matching them pretty well in just a regard to like over skills per se. So I'm curious to see how this new Washington lineup is going to go, Spooky.
Yeah, and it's great to swap out a couple players, you know, because you get over that mental doom from losing every Alpha game. You know, Washington Washers, fantastic defense. It just did not come together. They had every advantage coming in, and you know they've got to be kicking themselves, knowing that this could easily be a 2-1 in favor of themselves. So, you know, you swap out, you're like, okay, let's play what we practice, go with the new compositions we want to run with. And I guarantee you it's going to be a Diva comp. I cannot imagine another reason why PT Handley would be swapped in. He is very, very good at that hero, and it has not been a look we've seen from Clutch. So I'm leaning towards maybe the classic Rush comp with Ryan Diva. I think that could be a look that Washington want to break out, but it is Temple of Anubis, and we do see a lot of different things. Potentially, we want to run some kind of bunker, some kind of double shield on that first point, then transition over to maybe Orisa Diva or even the classic Rush for point B. I'm definitely excited. They've got to have something special coming out to swap out 2 players who have, again, been performing very well.
Absolutely. And while we're talking about players right now, why don't we also talk about Legion's DPS line? That is Hudson and Swanky Pants. You know, we've talked a lot about Swanky Pants and how much Swanky Pants has been able to show off in the first map, but Hudson really came alive, and I think Hudson is the reason why Legion were able to survive and ultimately win out that second map. So I'm excited to see how this DPS duo are going to continue to keep Legion into it, as we are going to be loading into Temple of Anubis, first.
Yeah, Hudson and Swanky definitely been putting on a match. Yes, we've had a lot of things to say about both Fight and McNewbie, but at the end of the day, it is 2-1 towards Legion, and I think Hudson and Swanky Pants are a very big part of that.
Yes.
The rest of the team have been playing well. There's no doubt about that, but especially, you know, you've been playing a lot of double shield. It's a little bit harder to kind of pop off when you're on the Orisa, on the Sigma, when you're just stuck standing in one spot, versus, you know, a Hanzo versus an Ashe who can really just light up the kill feed. And that has been what all the DPS have been doing. They've seriously been getting 3Ks, they've been getting 4Ks. It really does seem like a battle of the DPS. And whoever gets to enable their damage dealers more, they tend to be the ones winning the maps. But definitely, so far, I have not seen a real weak link on either of these teams. They have been looking very strong. It's just who plays a little bit harder, not who's playing badly or who's playing weak, but who just plays a little bit better in the moment seems to be who's winning. We do see the double shield coming out on defense from Legion, along with that Mercy they like to run, get those reses up in case they need it, versus the double shield. So PT Handley not in for the Diva, at least not started with. He's coming in to play the double bubble Zarya.
Let's see how it goes. It's going to be Hibernite immediately diving in there, gets taken out. Just so much damage flying in here. Now Swanky Pants looking for Yellow Cello, able to hide behind the barrier there, but now it's Mr. Crit trying to get out with his life, but looks like it's all coming up Legion, at least for that first pick here. Tekio alone on the side, still able to get some healing in, but so far Legion, they did a good job of holding that.
Yeah, and they get a couple picks without trying? Question mark? At least,
Throwing in the spam.
you know, Washers did not get an engagement, but they do get a pick, especially on the Tekio. That is going to leave Washers staggered out for a little bit as they wait for their Ana to get back into the fight. The Legion are really a little bit of an aggressive defense that's very good for them. Well, let's see exactly how Washers want to come forward and get something. They do not have ultimates. They have to just push in naturally if they want to find something. But fight caught out.
Hudson almost got him there. Love to see that combination. Teamwork makes the dream work. Ixia queuing up the amplification matrix. Hyper Knight falling immediately halfway through the air, and now the Legion are just going to be pumping in a damage high. Hudson isn't quite done yet. It's going to be a cheeky little 3K for Hudson right there on this Hanzo, making it work out really well. Is Legion, they're holding this strong.
And that's the thing, you know, we've seen the DPS really popping off, but we saw right there the amp matrix into the is what started that one off. So it is really the support and the tanks enabling the DPS to do so much damage. Washers, 2 minutes on the clock and they've gone absolutely nowhere. They have a nano and that's it. At this rate, they probably won't even get their other ultimates online before the time's out. The Nano Monkey comes in, but nothing.
Yeah, it gets stopped halfway through an air. That's the accretion coming in, hitting Winston in the head, but Tekio falling down by Hudson's Dragon. Yellow Shell are going to go for the res. Able to get that one off, but Fight immediately takes out Swanky Pants. Okay, this is looking like it's possible. Ben does have the supercharger here. Could be you looking to use it right now, as finally Washington are able to get their way into this defense, but Fight falling down is going to call for their retreat as they completely just rotate out and back off and disengage, looking for another opportunity to re-engage, but Swanky Pants gets a 2K with his dynamite. Alright, I guess that's cool for exit kills.
Yeah, that is not looking rough. The ultimate's now solidly in favor of Legion. Washers even lose the grab dragon potential. There's no diva to eat that up, so you could have just whipped the grab onto the high ground. But PT Hanley, 70% of the grab, decides it's not worth it. Goes for a more classic dive comp. I'm curious who they want to punish though. Like, Legion's all playing very close together. You're not going to find a solo target. It's going to be a little bit harder to get value out of this dive, but they have to try something with a minute left and that Gravitic Flux coming out. Maybe a little early from Legion. This could be an opportunity.
Oh, it looks like it might be. Swanky Pants falling extremely low. Gonna get tossed around by Hyper Knight in the back line, but Hyper Knight now gonna be disengaging here. He's got 420 HP, nice, but we're gonna be seeing the dragons coming through here. PT Hanley gets taken out of his mech. Swanky Pants just couldn't jump just too high. Couldn't boot his head on the top of that cardboard there. But right now, Washers, they have to make something happen. There's only 20 seconds left on the clock. Like I said, not a lot of ultimates online. They're getting close to that Bob. Mr. Grant going to be committing it in immediately, but gets blown off the point by Swanky Pants. A good read by that. And now it's going to be Hyper Knight just in the back line. Yellow Shell trying to get out with their life, able to make it out here, but now the cleave damage is going to be coming through. A lot of the members of Legion are going to be getting a lot of HP loss, but it looks like this is not going to be working out for Washington. We're now in overtime. They need to try and at least get one tick, but Tekio's the only person left, and they're all the way in the back there, so that's going to be Legion not even giving up a single tick on this first round hold.
Yeah, Washers are done, Marks. I mean...
You said that before, Spooky. You said that before. They've come back, so I'm not saying it's over yet.
They do have to full hold and come back to win 2 more. They're likely win. They do have to keep Legion for 4 minutes from capturing a single tick of progress. It is certainly, it's not impossible. Yes. It's just very improbable. You know, they'll probably have to come out with some kind of double shield composition, even if they didn't want to in the first place, just to really take control of those choke points. I would even like to see potentially a Junkrat, just to really pound those choke points in and, you know, get the Rip Tire, which should be a team fight win. We are going to see Fight come out in that. But Legion looking very, very good once again. And it's something I think I criticized them for in the first round, is that they use their ultimates a little too early when they're ahead. Ben going, or I believe that was Elf, going in with the Gravitic Flux before Washers had engaged, actually gave them a bunch of space and allowed them to potentially have a chance. But when my only criticism of your team is that you use your ults a little too early when you're dominantly ahead, you're a pretty good team. That's fair.
Legion
a little suboptimal with their ult usage. to the heat of the moment, but even if they clean that up, they are going to look incredibly good. They already do. Still,
Absolutely.
breaking out the classic dive comp. I wouldn't mind seeing someone go straight to point and just pressure this double shield out. But it does look like they're going for the classic dive, at least to start with.
Yeah, we can see Hudson trying to pepper in damage on the backline. Keep him guessing. He'll be contested by a Junkrat here. Slinky Pants on the Genji. Haven't seen this in a while with that dive comp. Hudson does fall down, Fight able to get that pick to slow down their momentum, but like you said, Spooky, there's just so much time on the clock, only for a single tick. And Hudson's already back in this fight, so they're looking for an angle to engage here. We're going to be seeing Ben dive in there. Hudson creeping around on the side, looking to potentially come onto point to kind of add some pressure here. Now the back cap is going to be underway. Let's see if anybody can take him off. It looks like that's going to be the case. Hudson had to back off here, Ben. Just kind of zipping, zapping, seeing what damage he can get in here, but so far this is looking all right. Ben going in. Should be tickling that damage in, but immediately gets disengaged. Oh, falling so low, gets hit on top of the little stall there. Barely keeping himself alive, but Ixia doing a great job keeping this round alive. So far, Legion, they haven't found too much yet, and now the Supercharger is going to be coming online. We see Ben get taken out of the air, Swanky Pants falling down immediately as well, and Hyper Knight just playing aim labs over here, just going to be shooting them all down. Mr. Crit coming out on top on the kill feed, though. Going to be taking that one to the scoreboard later. Washington holding strong.
Yeah, Legion do not care at all. They are going specifically for this Nano Blade. It looks like Ixia having every opportunity to Nano Bend. Does not want to do it. It's going to hold till Swanky Pants actually comes up on that blade. They know they only need one good fight. But this is an opportunity for Washers. 2 minutes down. A Riptire can break a Nano Blade every day of the week. They have the ultimates potentially to hold on a little stronger here.
Let's see how it goes. We're seeing the Primal Rage get committed. Trying to get something happen here, but the Nano was committed. Swanky Pants gets caught mid-rock, mid-air. Gets taken out. PT Hanley just giving him the fist. And Ben now is going to be looking around, trying to tickle things down. They were able to get a lot of space here. Elf in the back line, looking for a remech potentially, but probably just going to be taken out. Yep, that's exactly what's going to happen there. And now Swanky Pants building up to the blade. What happened with that Nano, Spooky?
It looked like it was trying to be put on the Ben. Ixia pulled the trigger, realized the main tank was low, but instead it landed on Swanky Pants, who was still 25% away from the blade. Definitely not what you want to see, but Ixia already at 40%. Is going to build up another one quickly. Washers are definitely not out of the woods yet, but they're starting to find their way, especially with that 2K.
Yeah, that's going to be huge. What an excellent flux coming out of PT Handley, just lifting them up into the air, making them drop back down to the earth and cracking their heads while doing so. Now Washington, they've got this time bank down to 1 minute, Spooky. It's possible.
They're out of ults. Ixia is 75% on this Nano. They need to something to deny this Nano Blade. A boot from Mr. Critter Fights. A rock even from PT Handley. It's going to have to be big, but the Nano Blade is coming out in just a couple of seconds marks. They have to deny it, or it's game over for Washers.
See, they're getting ready for the engage. We're going to be seeing the Supercharger drop down. The Nano Blade is committed in the back line. It'll take out Fight. Mr. Crit is next and make that tech kill and yellow shadow. Oh, Swanky Pants. Swanky Blade will like it. Just finding so many picks, and that's going to be the end of the Washington Washers as we know it, as Legion make a very decisive 3-1 victory tonight.
It was a good hold coming out from Washers, but you know, Legion, they were obvious Nano Blade the entire time. You don't really run the Genji, and it's a good decision, I think. You know, if you know that you only need to get that one tick, generally you will have 2 Nano Blades to attempt it. They kind of got stalled out. They were left only with the one, but one's enough to do the job, and they do get that first tick. So great play coming out from Legion. They do take the series 3-1, but I had a lot of fun watching the Washers. I think they have a lot of potential on their team. They never looked bad exactly. It was just the Legion came out a little bit stronger, and like I said all the way at the beginning of this cast, I think both of these teams have the potential to be closer to the top of the bracket than the bottom. So I absolutely love to see them starting out their Inspire runs and potentially building a bit of a rivalry here.
Yeah, absolutely. Legion just looked so clean, but the Washington Washers, like you said, very evenly matched, and that really was a very exciting Overwatch match to cast. I don't know about you, Spooky, but I lost my mind on several occasions from some of the plays that were coming through. But stick around. We're going to be throwing to a quick break, but we're going to be having an interview with one of the members of Legion just after these messages. So we'll see you in a couple of minutes. Stick around and get ready for that interview.
See us going on and off again. Baby, all I really want is only on from that. Every time I see a glimpse of your good side, I start wondering how I could make it last a little longer. Say you wanna fix our problems. How long should I be waiting? Feels like I've had too much of drama, but I'm not ready to give in.
Welcome back, everybody, to Inspire Esports. It's the end of week number 1 in the preseason, and boy, howdy did we have a game. Legion went up against the Washington Watchers. Legion winning out 3-1, and we are now joined by our pick for MVP, Swanky Pants. Swanky Pants, how you doing?
Yeah.
Woo! Whoa!
As good as an answer as any.
Yeah, Swanky Pants coming out incredibly strong, catching our eye. Multiple 4Ks on the Junkrat, and
Oh yeah.
finishing off with that giant nano blade, and everywhere in between he was also popping off. Marks and I multiple times framed this as a battle of the two DPS duos, and Swanky Pants was a crucial part to his team's victory. I'm just super excited to have you in the booth with us. How does it feel to get your first win in Inspire?
It's pretty nice, yeah. You know,
Yeah.
you know, winning's always nice, man. I don't know. There's not much to say. It's just, yeah, woo, yeah.
Man, I need some of that energy and just like internalize it a little bit more. But
yeah.
I do have to ask, after map number 1, where you won that one out, and then you go into map number 2, and Washington Watchers were able to beat you out on that map. You know, what was the comms like as you were going into map number 3? How do you prepare yourself to be like, okay, you know what, we lost that one, but things are going pretty well so far, and we just got to keep up that momentum?
I just said, well, it was me and just a bunch of other people. I don't really remember the second map. That didn't happen.
Yeah, this was a 3-0, right?
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, 3-0, obviously. No, it was just the standard stuff, like, don't tilt, 0-0 first match, you know, it doesn't really matter. We just come back strong next time. It's all the standard stuff, nothing too special. Everybody was tilting, I was tilting, but we just managed to untilt. Woo, yeah!
There it is.
Yeah, and the untilt really did seem to come clear, especially on Rialto. You know, you guys really didn't seem to be able to get anything going on that attack. It's definitely rough when you can't cap that first point. But then again, you come back even stronger on defense to actually win that one out. Can you talk to us a little bit about the third map? How did that one come together? Because after that first round, it definitely looked like you guys were going to be the ones losing that map instead of taking it.
Well, after our attack, it was just the same thing. Everybody was tilted. I was tilted. My positioning was absolute dog. But yeah, we just did the whole untilting thing, and everything just got really heated up. That last fight, I was whiffing all the important shots. I don't know if any of y'all caught that.
No, you're a player of the match. You've never whipped a shot.
Yeah, you hit all the
What are you
headshots. It was
talking
great,
about?
dude.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, honestly, just like our comms really just heated up near the end because we realized, oh, we can win this. Woo, yeah, we can win this. And then we just kind of won.
Okay, well, with that, we just wanted to say congratulations to Legion winning out your first match against the Washington Washers. And, as we get into the season and as things start to pick up, I don't know about you, Spooky, but I'm looking forward to seeing Legion playing more matches because you guys put on a really good performance tonight and it was a lot of fun to watch.
Can I say one more thing before I dip?
Yeah, I will. Go ahead.
All right. Wow.
Okay, what's up with that? You can't leave before you explain.
Okay, back in another league, our team was the Meow Legion :3. Joey knows all about this. The Joester. Yeah, no, we won because the other team got really angry at us in our scheduling or whatnot. But anyway, it was easy 3-0. But yeah, no, every time somebody got player of the match, we'd Meow. Yeah.
Love to hear.
Expect that 5 times over.
I'm ready for it. Swanky fans, thank you so much for joining us. But I do want a quick moment to give any shout outs that you want to credit any players, anybody who inspired you to help you get this victory. So please just go ahead. The floor is yours.
I just want to Mr. Elf out there, especially on Rialto with that Sigma
big player.
Clutch, is very big. His off tank is kind of doo doo, but he did pull out today. Ben, he's British, so I feel bad for him. Hudson, a CS player, he only plays tracking heroes, but we forced him on everything not tracking heroes, so I feel bad for him. Polari, or however you say it. I don't even. She did fine, yeah. And then I don't even remember who her flex support is.
Thank you,
Ixia. Oh,
okay.
okay.
I think that is right. I think that's correct. Thank you so much, Swanky fans, for those ringing endorsements. Thank you for coming on to the interview. Marks, do you want to close us out?
Absolutely. Congratulations to Legion winning it out over Washington Washers 3-1. And this is going to be the end of week number 1 in the preseason tournament for Inspire Esports' tournament here. Tonight, this has been casted by myself as well as Spooky, and we've been observed and produced by the wonderful, the amazing Joey that everybody in the lobby loves. So time. But thank you guys for tuning in. You're going to want to make sure to follow the channel. That way, we've got a lot more games coming to you. Overwatch, just as exciting as this one. And it's not going to be in the preseason. And you're going to be notified as soon as those goes live. So you're going to want to make sure to follow the channel. But that's going to close us out for tonight. So thank you for tuning in, and we will catch you next time. Have a good night, everybody.
Woo! Yeah.